because the tribe was enslaved in Haiti, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Bermuda, in Bahia, in Central America, in Guyana. Every place on this planet, you Africans were enslaved. You see, because we were there, we therefore can be here. We have to remember this because this is our empowerment. You see, when they broke our connection with the ancestors, we lost the understanding that they are always with us. You see, Africans have no concept of death in the simple carnal sense of Europeans. And it doesn't matter whether you're Christian or Muslim or whatever. The idea is that in the African philosophy of life, you continue to live in the community, whether you are in flesh or have been able to transcend the flesh. Africans understand you are a part of the community before you get here, while you're here, and when you leave, because you don't ever leave the community. We are still doing the work of Imhotep. We are still a part of the tradition of the tribe of Ramesses. We are still involved in the great work of Obata We are still, of Shaka Zulu. We are still involved in the mighty work of those people who struggle here. We are still a part of the work of Harriet Tubman and of Denmark Vesey or Frederick Douglass and all the rest of those who gave so much. But you see, they wanted to make us believe that we were in violation of our concept of monotheism by appreciating that Africans continue to be a part of the community. Libation was a ritual of memory. It's a way to invoke consciousness. You see, when you remember the ancestors, you actually reinvent them, you recreate them, you bring them back into this place, into this time, and the energies and the power that they had is brought back into this moment. You know, this isn't strange now. Listen, even Europeans now claim that the power of resistance to many diseases and resistance to many problems is because those diseases were defeated by the ancestors. They call it genetic immunity. They talk about how previous generations have already conquered certain diseases, so that immunity is passed on from one generation to the next. And of course, since these people are so physical that they can't see with the other eye, they only look for physical explanations. They're looking for genes and DNA and some kind of biochemical. But the bottom line is that we are spiritually containing everything that has gone before. We are it. The only thing that's not here is what didn't make it. But everything that survived is here in us. That's why we represent the accumulation of the greatest possibilities of human life on this planet. The fact that slavery kicked our butt, but we survived it, therefore we've come out of it with greater power than anybody else on this earth. We got We are a tribe. Now you say, well, like, what about those of us who mix? I got some Iroquois in me, I got some Blackfoot and some Creek in me. In fact, my great-great-granddad was a Scotsman, and I got some Irish in me too. Well, that's your problem. You understand? Look, those ancestors are being remembered in the culture. The European culture is constantly remembering their ancestors. Why do you think you got a pocket full of dead white presidents? That's European ancestral worship. Why do you think they've got all these white folks' pictures in every courthouse and all the universities and the corporate headquarters? You come in there, big dead white folks all over the wall. And they are always being reminded that the ancestors are here. And then you start getting strange and peculiar. Well, I don't do this ancestor thing. I don't worship my ancestors. Well, you're the only one. You see, that's why you are so weak. Because you've lost connection with the angels. You've lost connection with the jinns. You've lost connection with the spiritual entities that were sent as intermediaries to do the work of the divine creator who used human beings to serve as the vessel for making things happen. When you lose memory, then you don't know, not only can you slam dunk a basketball, you can slam dunk the planet through the circle of time. You don't realize that the same healing power that Imhotep has, we still have. You don't realize that the mathematical and architectural minds that built the pyramids based on a spiritual blueprint are still operating with us. You don't realize that the powerlessness of our enemies who attacked our bodies but didn't bother to somehow destroy our minds, their power continues only as long as we give them the power over our bodies and abdicate the power of our minds. We don't understand who we are.